Hello, welcome to the Bakwas channel for self-paced tutorials on Internet of Things. This video demonstrates the installation of Nagios remote plugins Executor and the corresponding plugins on a remote computer to monitor the latter. The objective of this tutorial is to deploy Nagios remote plugin Executor by installing, configuring, testing, and customizing the solution. This tutorial assumes that Nagios core is installed and operational on a host computer. NRPE plugins will be installed on a remote computer. Nagios core is free open source software, FOSS. There is a Nagios Enterprise 2, which is a licensed program product for commercial use. The key steps are to install the prerequisites, build using NRPE source on the remote computer, tweak the configuration if necessary, install NRPE plugins, test, and test. The prerequisites are that Nagios core is up and running on a host computer. NRPE plugins will be installed on a remote computer that will be monitored. The key packages on the remote computer needed for the build are listed on the slide. When this tutorial was prepared, the current version of NRPE was 4.0.2. Download the source archive file onto the remote computer and extract the contents to a local folder. Configure, compile, build, and install NRPE on the local computer. Use the already prepared script to install the group and user for NRPE operations on the remote computer. Using the object files from the preceding build operations, install the binaries on the remote computer. Install the configuration file nrpe.cfg using the make command. Enable the port protocol for NRPE services. The list of permitted services is in /etc/services. Add an entry for NRPE in this file. The service name is NRPE, the port is 5666, and the protocol is TCP. Enable NRPE to run as a service on the remote computer. This slide is included for completeness only. In the event that a firewall is in use on the remote computer, then the following script to add an entry for NRPE traffic to traverse the firewall. Of course, it goes without saying that a firewall is highly desirable and should be considered a mandatory requirement, not an optional requirement. The nrpe.cfg file must be updated with the IP address of the Nagios host computer. By default, the NRPE service on the remote computer will not listen to external requests. After all changes have been made, start the NRPE service. Use a simple command at the terminal to check the version of the installed NRPE service. The next phase in the installation is to proceed to install the plugins on the remote computer. Notice that a few more packages are needed to support building and running the plugins. The Nagios plugins are maintained in a different GitHub repository. If practical, always download the latest version. The build and install steps for the plugins are similar to that for the service. Run a simple test check load to validate the installation of the plugins. This video tutorial was a very simple introduction to installing Nagios remote plugin Executor NRPE and the corresponding plugins on a remote computer that will be monitored. This presentation was prepared with assistance on special effects from sufiisma@gmail, on documentation from Nagios Core and Nagios Forums. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the free open source software from Kdenlive for nonlinear editing, LibreOffice for documentation, Nagios for so many things, OBS Studio for recordings, and, of course, Ubuntu for the platform services. The music is from the YouTube audio library. It is called Images of Tomorrow by Unicorn Heads. Also to my family, my teachers, colleagues, and subscribers, a simple thank you is wholly inadequate for the journey through the years. Nevertheless, thank you again to everyone on this list for the encouragement, support, and understanding to help me to continue doing what I like doing, that is, to assist in a small way to make more productive use of computer technologies. That's all, folks. Thanks for taking the time to view this presentation. Would love to hear from you with your feedback. You are always welcome to be critical in any which way you can. Until next time, bye for now.